today we are going to be talking about the act of using keywords and key phrases in creating a content that converts. So I'm still around creating content that converts. Some days ago, I was going through LinkedIn, and for some reason, I came across this post by Neil Patel. So he's the co-founder of Neil Patel Digitals. His company is one of the leading performance marketing agency in the US. So it's about search engine optimizations for companies. He's done a lot for different companies. So this is what he wrote. He said, most searches in 2026 will be answered by AI before anyone clicks your site. So how do you stay visible when Google AI, ChatGPT, and Perplexity decides what gets shown before a user even visits your page? And then he said, he reveals the 5 strategies that will help you dominate AI and all. So normally on Facebook, when someone creates this kind of post, because I'm not so good with LinkedIn, when someone creates this kind of post, you get to see the answer in the comment section. So I was curious and I decided to go into the comment section, but he didn't do that. So that was like a clickbait for us. Instead, I really got interested in what different people were replying in the comment section, and these ones stood out for me. I'm just going to pick 3 out here. And this man says, the click isn't guaranteed anymore. Being in the answer matters more than being in the top 10 links. Lillian says, we are entering a world where visibility isn't earned through clicks. It's earned through contests. SEO is evolving from search optimization to AI interpretation optimization. And then we have Jenica who says, it's not the end of SEO, but it's the intersection of how AI meets SEO, where we are no longer optimizing for algorithms, but we are algorithms rather, or we are optimizing for understanding. As always, high quality, insight-led, well-structured content will always win. And I'm like, wow, it so happens that I'm talking about the use of keywords and key phrases, and it marries it all together. So I would want to start from a broader perspective and then narrow it down into what this whole topic is all about. So can you put a 1 to, so between 1 to 10 in the comment section, has any of us, like, do we know the understanding or have the understanding of what a web crawler is? So 1 is no idea at all. 10 is yes, very well. So I can't say that I can't, because I got to minimize what's happening in the chat. I presently can't see what's in the chat. So let's go forward. A web crawler. What's a web crawler? So a web crawler, sometimes we call it a bot or a spider. It's like a tiny librarian. So it's used, so different people have websites, right? So how is it easy for people to find this website and what the website is about? Or how is it possible for someone to go into maybe Google and search for something and your content or your website is brought up first or second or third, or just brought up in the search, the list of searches that comes out? It's the web crawler that does this. So it's just like, let's imagine the web crawler like a librarian. We all understand what a librarian does. The librarian goes, gets together the books, arrange them so it's easy for everyone, who wants to get a book, to easily pick out a book very easily. Just for instance, I'm looking for I just go there. It's really arranged and structured. So the web crawler is a librarian that has been given special instructions. What it does is, for the web crawler, it goes on websites and then it's made to look for clues. So normally on web pages, we've got special characters like words or images that when you click on it, it links you to a different page. So it takes you to another page. So for instance, I'm on the website, I see the about section, what we're about, um, our contact, those kind of things. Those are special links that takes you somewhere else when you click on them. So the web crawler is made to spot all of these links. So it goes through every page of that website and snapshots the page itself, a copy of the page, goes back to the page, looks for every clue, follows the first clue, go on the next page, follows the next clue. It just keeps coming back. So it's creating a web. That's why it's called a web crawler. It's creating a web around the world web, and getting similar information, or, gathering information like a librarian and storing it somewhere. That's what it's doing. So it keeps going over and over again. And then when it's done putting all of these things together, but it doesn't rest, it's an AI, it's AI. When it's done putting all these things together, it gets to stick it up in something called an index. So it's like a cabinet or a shelf, like you have in the library. So for instance, if someone decides to go on Google, like you go on Google and you probably search for business owners in maybe cake shop near me or something, what do you call it now? The search engine doesn't just immediately start looking for cake shops. It rather goes into the cabinet where the web crawler has stored these informations and brings out the best, like maybe based on priority or the one that is the closest, right? So that is what the web crawler does for websites. Now, the question is, how does this relate to content creation? How does it relate to creating a content that converts? Like I said, the web crawler does this for websites. But however, every platform is like a website on its own. Facebook is a website on its own. It's owned by someone. So everybody has their different websites. And because they have their different websites and the kind of activities that's taking place on this website is different content, people, activities, people are going to come in there and search just like a search engine, right? So all our internet platform, or rather social media platform, has got web crawlers or internet librarians in them. So what does this do? It scans individual pages. Every one of us have got our individual pages. It scans it to understand the kind of content that we are creating. It scans it to understand who the content we are creating is for. And then when it picks the content that we are creating using the words that we put into the content, it gets to save it like a librarian. It goes to put it up on a shelf. So if someone is looking for these words, it's easy to bring it. So for instance, we have 100,000 people on this particular platform, different people with different kind of content. I probably am talking about moms, another person is talking about that, another person is talking about kids. So it helps to organize these books like the librarian will always do, these contents on the shelves so that people can easily find it. Please, if we are following, can you put one in the comment section if we're following this far? So I really can't see it, but I'll just keep going. So yeah, okay, let me see. Let me see. Yes, one. Thank you so much, Louis. Thank you so much, Susan. So that brings us to keywords. I was talking about it best to understand the different content that each person is making. So if it's moms, it's putting moms somewhere, dads, it's putting dad somewhere and all. So these are keywords. Keywords. The web crawler gets to figure out the keywords that we are putting in our content. It helps it to understand who our content is for. Who is this content for and what problem are we solving, or what is this particular content solving for someone. Don't forget, most times when people go on Google or they want to search for something, sometimes it's like queries. They want to understand why this is happening, what is this, how is this, how can I do this, looking for something. It's like queries. So when the web crawler understands the keywords or the problem that you're solving, it helps to stick it on a shelf for you. So if your content has no clear keywords, the crawler doesn't know where to file your content. The crawlers match content to searches. So it's easier for you to be found if you have keywords in your content. So examples of keywords are for like industry keywords we have. So we have different kinds of keywords and it's designed to suit our needs or different people's needs. So we have industry keywords, problem keywords, solution keywords.
I think she's still there, but frozen.
She's still frozen for me too.
Yeah, hold on.
Okay.
She's probably just jumping off and on. All right. So what's the feedback for now on that? I got it, but I like the web crawler. Was that new for anyone? That was new in that explanation. Like,
it's a refresher. It makes sense now. I've heard it before, but it never applied. So
yeah, when I was married, my husband at the time, he used to do web marketing. So I've heard a lot of that through him, but he was the one that did it all. So I knew what it was, just not how to use it. But hearing what she just said already, I wrote down some ideas of how to change around my content just with the keywords, because if those web crawlers are going through our content and we want it to put our content in the right area, then it's really good to make sure those keywords are in all of our posts. So I found that really helpful.
I think it was just like easy to explain what it is. So, which I had no idea in that sense. So that's really good. Like the keywords. I'm interested to know like what that gentleman there, it was Neil Patel, that question he put out there, which is very interesting to think about. It's like probably people will go first to ChatGPT before they click right on that. So this is going to be really interesting. She's probably just getting back on. She had mentioned there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. No, 5. So industry keywords, digital marketing, business coaches, online business. So problem keywords, overwhelmed moms, no customers, low engagement. Then there's solution keywords, so like niche Facebook, so like niche clarity, Facebook monetization, content strategy. Desire keywords, financial freedom, moms earning from home, stay home moms, action keywords, how to do step-by-step, learn, build, get clients. The more your content has your ideal keywords for your business, the clearer your page is to the web crawler. So how many of you are using these keywords or like have been intentionally, you know, maybe we create a piece of content and we're like, okay, we're thinking about maybe more of the outcome, the pain point, or maybe our own experience, right? How many like create a content without intentionally thinking about, hey, maybe if I put in, you know, overwhelm, that is going to be a keyword, so I'll have more engagement.
Yeah, I basically just, I've been relying a lot on hashtags. I just figure, oh, well, if I put this hashtag in, then, if somebody's looking for this, they'll find it. But yeah, I never, like, I always made sure my content was based on what I was posting, but never thought about like keywords in the content. I always thought, oh, the hashtags will do it, which probably isn't the best way to think.
All right,
Sorry.
there you are. That's
Yeah.
okay. We were going over the keywords there because Lorraine was really amazing to have done a screenshot. So we were just going over that. No problem.
Okay.
Back to you.
Thank you so much. Let me share again. I think I stopped here, keywords. So it's easy for our content to be found if we have these keywords, because the web crawler already knows the top search that people come out to search, that's put in the Explorer to search for things. So if you have these keywords, that's your ideal keywords in your content, it's easy to be found when someone does a query or does a search. So yeah, I think this was very well. So I was talking about different keywords. So for industry keywords, we have digital marketing, business coaches, online businesses. So we have so many kind of keywords, even in the industry keywords. It's just that you have a unique one to your business. We have the problem keywords, overwhelm moms. There's also something that's always going to be added to it. I'm coming to that. Solution keywords, niche clarity. Everyone is thinking about Facebook monetization, content strategies, and all. So that's its top keyword. So I'm putting top keywords here. Desire keywords, financial freedom. Everyone wants to be free financially. Stay-home moms, work from home. Action keywords. People are checking for how to do this, step-by-step guides. Learn these, build this. Get clients. These are major keywords. The more your content has your ideal keywords for your business, the clearer it is for the web crawler to understand what your content and your page is about. Like I said, search engine doesn't just track keywords. However, it doesn't just look out for keywords. It also looks out for natural language phrases. What do I mean by this? Most people are not just searching for a keyword. So I can't just go put content creation. There's something I'm looking about that has to do with content creation. So it also understand that there is a thread in regards what other people are looking for, the kind of language I will use to make it easier to search for content, right? So the keywords that people are searching for is like a problem, but the key phrases is an emotional search language. So I'm adding an extra information so it understands what I'm searching for. So I'm talking about your clients now. She or he is looking for an extra information that has to do with starting a digital business or whatever it is that you're doing, right? So if sometimes we even go on Google and then we're typing something that always gets to happen. You see other things people who searched for these have searched for. It's like an autofiller word. So these are key phrases that people use. So today the algorithm ranks relevance, not effort. How relevant, like Niall said, how relevant is your information is for that search. If the AI can't match your content with search intent, then you would still feel invisible, or it probably wouldn't stick you among the people on the shelves that it has, crawled and gotten a screenshot on what these people are doing. So it's not that you are being ignored, because a lot of people say, sometimes I really get to post, no one is commenting, no one is it seems people not see my content and all. It's just that the machine, that's the web crawler or the internet librarian, doesn't know who you are, or it hasn't identified who you truly are in regards the kind of content you create. So the more you put these keywords or key phrases into your content, it gets to see patterns. The web starts connecting for you, and then it takes you on the shelf. So you're easy to be found. I've been talking about keywords, the web crawlers, and all of these things, but then where do we find these keywords, these key phrases, so we can use them and it's not like we're just creating content? At different places we can find them, and I'll put them all together. First of all, like I talked about, is Google autofill. Like I explained, when you're doing a query or you're searching for something, there's always a completion of that thing you're looking for. Before you're done typing, there's already a thread of information that probably other people are looking for. And that's where you can find keywords or key phrases. On TikTok, so if you go on TikTok and you go to the search, that's Explorer, and write creator search insight, creator search insights, it opens up a page for you, and there's another Explorer there. If you put a keyword that relates to your niche in it, it brings out content that people have created with that keyword. So similar coaches like you, similar creators like yourself that have used those keywords, it brings out the top ranking content. So it's just like going in and seeing what every other person is doing, see what's working for them and all. Then we have Facebook Search Explorer. That's where you search on your Facebook. Top part of it where you have the search button. If you type in something, there's something that happens on Facebook. I don't know if you have seen it before. Definitely you must have, but you probably have not taken so much. You've not really, you probably haven't put so much of intent into it. So for instance, you're searching for something on Facebook, you go to the Explorer, you write maybe coaches. There's something that comes out. It gives you options. Is it people you're looking for? Is it pages you're looking for? Is it groups you're looking for? Is it content or posts you're looking for? If this has happened to you, or if you remember this has happened to you, please put a one in the comments. Another place that we can get these keywords that we can use. So it's the keyword part of it, or key phrase part of it, is just understanding what your client, your ideal client, is searching for. They're writing, right? So we're able to pick them up and use them also as content. And then we're piling our information on the, or helping the algorithm or the web crawler get to understand who our message is for. I think the last time I talked about what's this called now? When I said sometimes we do a discussion online, like maybe on WhatsApp or something, and then when you're done talking, you go on, as I think analytics, cookies and analytics, yes. So when you do a search or you talk about something, sometime later you go on social media and you start seeing those informations that you did look for, you spoke over on the phone, starts coming to you. That's because there are people who have used those terms that you have used. And because you have done a search for it, the search engine automatically brings it to you. So it's easier for you to find because you are looking for it, you're talking about it. It's like an intent, right? So one place you can also find keywords is Answer the Public. Has anyone ever heard of Answer the Public? Has anyone ever seen Answer the Public? Okay. So Answer the Public is a site. If you go on Google, you put Answer the Public, it comes up. It's a site that helps with the questions on a particular topic. Okay. Is interested? Okay. So Answer the Public is a site that has got questions that a particular search word as a keyword is around. So most people that do digital advertising, they go there, put in a keyword, and there's this chart that brings out different kind of questions around that keyword. So I may say plumber, and then it gives me, what is this? How is this? So these are possible questions or major questions that people around are asking around plumbing. So that's another place to spot keywords for your own business. Then we have in our DMs, Facebook groups. I'm also going to talk about this. Facebook groups in the chats, right? So for instance, we're all in different Facebook groups, and there are topics or there are captions that have been shared inside the group, and then you have lots of people commenting, and there are some of the comments that some people use in the comment section under that particular content that you resonate with. Sometimes you want to express yourself based on it. You can pick that word and as that phrase, use it in your content, and then it makes the web crawler pick that up, that you're answering a question. Another place you can find keywords is in our DMs and in our comment sections, because these are real interactions with people using the language of your clients, answering their question. Everyone is out to get an answer. Your audience. Then Instagram. On Instagram, if you put your keyword on Instagram, it's just like TikTok. So if you go on the Explorer and put a keyword, even if it's business coach, stay home mom, something, you have the creators on TikTok, Instagram, understand the power of keywords. So you would see that when you put that specific keyword in the Explorer, you even see their names, the name of that particular creator is attached to a keyword, like just make a keyword out of their name so they can be easily found. You just go do an explore and see what every other creator is doing in your field and see what works for you, pick it out and use. The truth is, if they have typed it, if they have said it, if they have complained about it, it is a keyword or a key phrase. I understood. Okay, I can see what's the comment. Inside public. No, answer the public. It is. I understood it. I thought it was a site. Yes, it's a site. It's a site. It's just like where you get answers from. That's rather, it's for people who normally do digital advertising. So they use that to get to know what people are asking for in their niche. So the next thing we're going to do right now is, I would like us to do a little bit of an activity, just 2 minutes per se. I'd like you to write out 5 sentences that your ideal client says when they feel frustrated. 5 sentences that you can remember that they write when they feel frustrated, because these are their buying triggers. They reach out to you when you have their answers. So if you use their frustrations to start a topic or a content, they immediately stay hooked to it. So we hear 2 seconds hook, 3 seconds hook. That's the frustrations that we're writing there, because it spoke to them. You use their language, so it's speaking to their pain. That's why they stay on it. So can we write out like 5 sentences that we think that our ideal clients use every day? They've probably said it to you. Oh, thank you, Lorena. Lorraine, yes. They probably said it to you. They probably use it in your comment section. They probably use it in groups. They probably used it somewhere. So you don't forget. I've actually made a workbook for the section I'm going to share with Anna, so you can easily get to figure out what I'm talking about. I'm married in. So if you're done, please write a 2 in the comment so I can move forward. Are we writing? Because I can see us. All right, Anna, thank you. Thank you. So I'm going to move forward to keyword or key phrases content formula. Like I was just saying, if we use their pain phrase in the content to begin the content, they stay stuck to your content because they want to see the end of it, right? So the formula is, when you're creating your content, the pain phrase first, that's our hook. Then the value, that's you understand them and you have, you know how to help them around this, right? And then the call to action. They can only decide to comment, strategy, or this if they see that you have the answer to the question, which is the hook that we started with. We have to speak to their frustrations. We have to deliver a solution before we invite them to take action. So where do we use our keywords and key phrases so the web crawler gets to, see them. We'll use them on headlines, like, for instance, the beginning. So on Facebook, if you want to create a post, a longer version post, sometimes it gives you a title. There's a spot for a title. I don't know if you've come across it. There's a spot, it says title of the content. So you can use that as a headline. The first two lines of your caption, the first two lines of your post that you're making, try to sprinkle it in. So it's not one word. You sprinkle different, just use different keywords that relate to your ideal clients, and you sprinkle them in. What we are doing, we are creating content for a purpose using strategy. So we are taking ourselves away from the crowd, because we now understand that the world is going towards a different angle. It's not just about so much, but doing so much with intent for the purpose of being found. Another place you can use them is in hashtags. So I heard Marissa saying she normally uses the hashtags. In fact, I think there was something I talked about some time ago when I said it's not about using so much of the hashtags, right? I said something similar to that. Like, if you're just using different kind of hashtags and you're not using the one that has to do with your ideal client phrases or the keywords that links to your business, then it's just a hashtag, right? Another place is video title. So when we're creating our videos, we can put the keyword or key phrases, just mix it up. There's always a way to mix it up. There's a way you just make it blending. Another place is even on our video scripts. So we are talking about it. Don't forget, the web crawler is getting information. So even in our video, sorry, so it's moved further. So even in the video, it's if you use the words in the video, it's that I can't go back. I don't know, for some reason. And then in the, I think on our on screen text. So sometimes we have video content or images, and then we write something on the screen, right? If we put those keywords or key phrases there or something, it also picks that up. Then in comments, when you're replying to people's comments, you should also, like, sometimes just sprinkle it in, because we are doing this intentionally to help our informations to be saved by the web crawler. So before we post, we should always ask ourselves. So this happens to be posts that is in relation to our business. You know, we do sprinkles and we do other kind of posts. So, but the ones that are actually made with purpose for our businesses, we should always ask ourselves, does this post is this post a search that my ideal client is making? Does it speak to their problem? Does it speak to their desire? Does it speak to their identity? You know, if the web crawler comes as for that hook part of it, can it pick what we are talking about in 5 seconds? And that's why using the key phrases are very important. The major thing is to first write for humans before we do the optimization for the crawlers. Why do I say that? Because humans are the ones that give us the engagement. They're the ones that watch it, right? So most of the time, they're not even searching for it. They're just going through it. So anything that they see, the first 3 seconds of our content, if it's relatable, they stay stuck to it. So emotions get engagement. Keywords is for discovery. So we are not only working for just being discovered as doing the search. So for the keywords, key phrases, it's good for searches, but then we are creating the content with intent, because we know that people who are going through Facebook and things, you know, the algorithm or the search engine is bringing up more content for them to see. The first 3-5 seconds of our content is super, super important to them. So you're not posting to impress, you're posting to connect and convert. Remember, the web crawler is feeding on your information. Remember that. Content, you know, is feeding on our information and the content that we are making, and it's putting them on the cabinet, on the index. So the more key phrases and keywords we use for our content, the better for us to be found, the easier. It's to prioritize the search for us just by working with the algorithm. So let me see what's in the comments. Okay. You're not posting to impress, you're posting to connect and combat. Exactly, Anna. Exactly. So have we got any question? Sorry guys, I'm just in and out. Have we got any questions? I'm going to share the link to that. I'm going to share the link to the workbook so we can, use it to work out what I just explained, and it's easy for us.
Yeah, can I just come in?
Yes, please.
Thank you so much. And about the keywords, you mentioned those like places to go, right?
Yes.
I think one Lorraine was finding there, it was answer
the public.
Answer that. So since we're all here, which I believe all of us are, mainly doing organic.
Yes.
Right? We're not using ads. We're not using, any of that kind of jazz there.
Mm-hmm.
Is this the pathway for that, or is it just for ads, like for people that are using? Because the crawler also uses for that, like the web crawler, obviously, who uses ads and all that, they go through this step by step as well. They go into these like answer the public or whatever to find out what is being typed, what's being requested. So organically.
Yes. Everything I've said is for all of us that are doing the organic way. So we are using the form because AI is what's helping everyone get found now. So if you're making it work for you, it's also easier for you. For them who pay money, they probably are looking for premium clients that will quickly come in, they get the quick sales and all. But doing this and having more of this in your content can help you get seen by your ideal clients. An example. So there's this activist in my country. So I'm a Nigerian. There's this activist in my country. He's on social media, and he really gets to help people. We call him like the fourth arm of government in the country. So he does lots of content on a daily basis, and he has lots of followers. And because, for instance, we even go on ChatGPT on Google, we get to search for him, we get his information there. So the algorithm he doesn't do ads. He doesn't do ads. So the algorithm, the web crawler, and the search engines already know who he is. Because of this, some content creators understand that using what is of significance, what people are searching for, what people are talking about on a daily basis helps them get seen. Some people just create, so it's like a thumbnail or a clickbait. They create a content and just put his picture on that page that's on that particular content they're creating, and it gets so much reach. It doesn't have to do anything related to him. And in their comment, the hashtag, they use hashtag VDM. They get lots of comments, engagement, and all. Some people start creating content because of him. Just talking about him, not his picture, gives you the reach. So that's another strategy that you can use to get the reach that you're looking for, because everyone is searching about this. So for instance, your ideal client is talking about something that you have used, because you've used her key phrase, her fear, right? And you put it in your content, you can be easily spotted out because you've used that, and the web crawler has picked it and saved it somewhere. I hope that answered.
Yeah, it actually did. And it actually reminded me of that, what you were talking about, adding in that person that's already in the, like the system. So for example, when something, I don't know right now, but I know in the beginning of the year.
Yes.
And every week, anyways, every day, there's a hot topic in the news, right? So just for example, two things that just came to mind. There was that movie, Snow White, went so bad. There was such a bad review. People were talking about it. It was all over the place. And I got a lot of engagement because I just kind of intertwined it. I used some kind of metaphor and used the Snow White, those little keywords, and it was one of the content that got most engagement.
Trend.
That was a great reminder to use you know, like what you're saying, if that person, like you were talking about in Nigeria, is already picked up from the system, and maybe you put them in your content, you're most likely going to have more engagement from that.
Exactly. More people are
Right?
going to see it. Yes.
People are going to see it. So that's what you were saying, right?
Yes, yes, yes.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying.
That when you had jumped off, I was actually talking about, because we were just in the beginning, that gentleman that you mentioned, Neil Patel.
Yes, yes,
He had posed a question that was very interesting, right? Which was,
yes.
people are going to go into ChatGPT or something to search before they click on you. So is this is like the pathway to make sure that when they're clicking, they find you?
So something else happened. When I saw that content, I didn't take note of the image he had there. It's just what was written in the caption that made me like, okay, let me see what's going on here. But while I was going through last night, just going through what I've created, I looked at the image itself, and just by the image, I saw the web crawler on the side of his face. So he did two. One was good on the web crawler. He did the tick, and then there was something else. I don't know if it's Google or search engine. I don't, SEO. I don't know. He puts like a bad to just create that engagement. So what's important is helping the web crawler or the librarian, internet librarian, get to figure out what your content is about and marry it with those similar contents. So on the library where we have ABC, AA, AAB, easier to find because it now understands what your content is about. So we are the ones who will help it because we are creating intentionally using those already recognized keywords that the internet or the search engines or the algorithm already has staked on their index or the cabinet or the shelf. So when you use these words, these search words, they take it and add it to the information that they already have on the cabinet for similar kind of content.
Okay, I have one last question since on your
Sure.
side. So you gave a lot of examples, right? Because now it's like, okay, I feel like after I close off, I'm just gonna go and like search all of it. So what do you suggest to not create that overwhelm? That, you know, do we go through all of them? Do we what would be like maybe like the top three? Like what would be suggested? Like I said, use all of them, use two of them. What?
So I remember I gave like a list of places you can find keywords and key phrases. So I think one of the easiest or the best thing to do, first of all, is to go on Google, type in maybe a keyword, and then it gives you that autofiller. Get to see the queries people are asking, other questions people are asking. Like normally when we go on Google and say other things people are searching, people who search for these are searching for these. Sometimes it links us to YouTube and all. So when we see these informations, we can, the ones that are similar to us, we can keep it and, use them in our content creation, or we can even go on our ChatGPTs. The more we use our AI, it gets to save and understand who we are, what we are creating, and why we're brainstorming with it. It gets to create, it gets to save this thing. So you can also go on ChatGPT and just ask it to give you 10 top search for your ideal clients, or keyword search for your ideal client, 10 top key phrases your ideal client uses. Then when you have interactions with your clients, there are words that they use when you're talking to you. Take note of those words. She keeps insisting on those words. So keywords are like the problem, but the key phrases are the words they use. For example, we have a marriage coach or a relationship coach, and we have a couple going to look for, going for a service, right? what's one or the first, let's say, what's like the question on their mind that they are going to solve? What's the problem that they have that they are going to solve? Probably to coexist together. How can we manage ourselves together? How can, just could be one question. They have an intent and they've gone there and they've asked the question. So that's the keyword. That's the problem. That's a search word. But for her to understand you better, you start explaining. And so we went out on a date and he didn't do this, he's not compassionate. He doesn't listen to me. Those are the key phrases. Those words that they are using, those are the key phrases. We know the question on their minds. We know the discussions that they're having around that question. So keywords, key phrases.
I'm going to continue with some questions. Just maybe one last one. When you were showing that part where you said, okay, the title, which I noticed that it was, I don't know for yous, but for me, I found that was new, seeing a title and then description when you do a reel, right? And you mentioned hashtag and you mentioned these little things that we can do. Do we actually utilize all of it? It would help us more, or just like hashtag title, pick 2-3 things it should be okay. So like, is it every time we're on, doing a reel, we utilize like the keywords, the hashtag, the title,
so it's like a sprinkle, we create, different kind of content. For instance, on Monday, we have a content pillar that we normally use. It could be like a personal story. That intentional content for your business, put it in there, like could be the headline, the beginning of that particular content, and then sprinkle in your hashtag. But when we're doing our other kind of content, we could use it, we couldn't use it, or probably just keep it aside. But let's make sure that at least our weekly content, the ones that are practically made for the business, we have it because it's an answer. We use the content to look for our clients. So using their pain points as a phrase to begin that particular content, because that content is intentional, is going to help us. So it's like sprinkling it in the intentional content. I'm not saying every content we make is not intentional, but those ones, that we're going to tell them, click on this. Let's sprinkle the keywords and key phrases there, because that's the content we are using to get the clients.
Thank you so much. All right.
Any other question, please feel free to ask. Yeah, even if it's from the last training we had in regards to creating content that come out, understanding who your ideal client is. So at the major thing first is, what you're doing. The next thing is to understand who your ideal client is, and start using their words, start talking to their pains, start creating content that can help you get found. Because they can only buy from you if they feel understood by you. So using their words right back at them, or using their words to create the content, help them, oh, she just spoke something. So I think some time ago I got into a conversation with one of our clients, and she said something. She said someone reached out to her and said the words you are using in your content speaking directly to me, and that's why I feel I can call you to have this communication or this conversation with you. And she felt understood, and that's why she had confidence to call the lady for a conversation. So that's the power of a keyword and key phrase. I just wrote in my notes too. Powerful. Thank you so much. Thank you, Anna. Thank you. I have tweaked my content based on the information you have shared in your training, and I have noticed an increase in engagement. Wow. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Elaine. Thank you so much. I look forward to watching this video and the proud one. Sure. Thank you so much. Thank you everyone for your time. Thank you. Thank you, Susan. Thank you so much, Anna, for making this possible. I really appreciate you.
You're welcome. Thank you everyone for being here.
Thank you, Malisha. Thank you so much. I'm glad it was very valuable and informative. Thank you so much. I'm going to share the workbook with Anna, so it helps you build on, and put these things together. And when you watch, just write again, soak it all in, and be more intentional about the problem they are seeking to solve. When you're more intentional about that, then you start finding answers for them.